SAO is an absolute dumpster fire. It's one of the worst shows ever made. Michael Bay's Transformers movies are genuinely a lot better. I don't understand why anyone likes SAO. If you're an SAO fan and you're ready to wake up, I highly recommend watching the Aquaman movie instead. It's pretty awesome. In this video, I'll explain some reasons why Aquaman reigns supreme over SAO. Stick around afterwards, and I'll show you some interesting trivia and Easter eggs about the movie. Anyways, let's get started.
Visuals. Aquaman has stunning visual effects that bring the underwater world to life, showcasing vibrant and immersive underwater kingdoms, creatures, and breathtaking battles. It's like diving into a colorful and magical ocean world. The movie's visuals are a big part of what makes it so cool. SAO's visuals are about as exciting as watching paint dry. Seriously, it's like someone took a color palette and decided that shades of blandness were the way to go. The animation lacks creativity and diversity. The animators obviously put in the absolute minimum effort. The environments are often generic and forgettable, lacking any sense of wonder or imagination. It makes you wish for a much-needed splash of creativity and originality. World building. Aquaman introduces audiences to the expansive and visually captivating underwater realm of Atlantis, expanding the DC extended universe with its rich lore and unique environments. SAO's world building is a colossal mess. Instead of creating a vibrant, immersive world, they settle for a mix of half-baked concepts and lazy storytelling. It's like they slapped together random landscapes and called it a day. The rules of the world are about as solid as a house of cards in a hurricane, constantly changing to fit whatever lazy plotline they're pushing. There's zero effort in making this world feel alive or believable. It's more like a slapped-together collage of uninspired settings that lack any cohesive vision or imagination. Action. Aquaman's action scenes are amazing. They're like a roller coaster ride that never stops. The movie serves up these epic underwater battles that are totally thrilling. From the hand-to-hand combat to the massive clashes between underwater armies, every fight scene packs a punch. Plus, they don't skimp on the excitement. The action keeps you glued to the screen, cheering for Aquaman as he kicks some serious butt. It's pure fun to watch, making you want to jump in and join the underwater action yourself. SAO's action scenes are a snooze fest of repetitive sword swinging that lacks any real intensity or creativity. Instead of delivering adrenaline-pumping battles, it feels more like watching a slow-motion dance with swords. The fights lack any sense of strategy or genuine excitement. With animation that's as uninspired as a limp handshake, these action scenes fall flatter than a deflated balloon at a party. Acting. The acting in the Aquaman movie is really good. Jason Momoa brings a cool, tough guy vibe to the lead role, making Aquaman a hero you want to root for. He's not just all muscles. He's got this laid-back charm that's really likable. The other actors, like Amber Heard as Mera, also do a solid job. SAO's acting is awful. The actors deliver their lines with all the enthusiasm of a sloth on a lazy day, failing to bring any depth or emotion to their characters. It's like they're sleepwalking through their performances, making you wonder if they even bothered to read the script. The main characters lack charisma, coming off as bland and forgettable. Their expressions are as wooden as a plank. Humor and wit. Aquaman balances its serious moments with well-timed humor and wit, injecting lighter elements into the storyline without detracting from its core themes. They know when to crack a joke to lighten things up without taking away from the important parts of the story. This mix of serious and funny keeps things interesting and stops it from feeling too heavy or too light. You're invested in the story, but you also get these fun bits. SAO's idea of humor is as dry as the Sahara Desert. It's as if they took a no-fun vow and stuck to it religiously. There's not a single witty remark or funny moment to be found. The characters seem allergic to cracking a smile, with their conversations so dull and lifeless that even a rock would seem more entertaining. They're so busy being overly serious and dramatic that they forgot to inject any sort of humor or lightness into the storyline. Character development. The Aquaman movie does a great job showing how the main character changes and grows throughout the story. At the start, he's unsure of himself and his abilities, but as the movie goes on, he faces challenges that help him become more confident and responsible. He learns from his experiences and becomes a better hero by the end. This development makes him more interesting and relatable to the audience. The character development in SAO is horrible. The characters don't really change much throughout the show. It's like they're stuck in the same place from beginning to end. They don't learn many lessons or grow as people. It feels like they're just there, doing stuff, without any real development or improvement. It makes the characters boring and hard to get behind.
As you can see, Aquaman is a lot better than SAO. Now let's take a look at some Easter eggs and trivia about the movie. Aquaman is a 2018 American superhero movie. It's based on the DC Comics character of the same name. Additionally, the movie is the 6th installment in the DC Extended Universe. In this video, let's take a look at some Aquaman Easter eggs and trivia. Director James Wan revealed that he had a choice between directing an Aquaman or Flash movie. He chose Aquaman because he's the underdog. Additionally, James Wan has also stated that the movie's Raiders of the Lost Ark and Romancing the the Stone were major influences on this movie. We hear narration from Aquaman. He says a quote from Jules Verne, "Put two ships in the open sea without wind or tide, and at last they will come together." This quote pretty much sums up how Aquaman's parents met each other. Furthermore, Jules Verne also wrote 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, which is one of the first science fiction books ever written. The first part of the movie takes place in Amnesty Bay. This is a reference to the comics. Amnesty Bay is a small coastal town located in Massachusetts. Nicole Kidman was James Wan's top choice for the role of Atlanta. She had previously declined the role of Queen Hippolyta in Wonder Woman. Additionally, this is Nicole Kidman's second comic book movie. She also played Bruce Wayne's love interest in Batman Forever. The 1960s TV series Stingray is playing on the TV before Atlanta throws her trident into it. H.P. Lovecraft's book The Dunwich Horror can be seen on a table in Thomas Curry's house. H.P. Lovecraft was a horror writer pioneer whose Cthulhu novels involved man-eating fish people and tentacle creatures deep under the ocean. DC is well known for its wide appreciation for Lovecraft-inspired texts, inspirations, and other nods to the powerful cult favorite. Lovecraft-inspired bits appear in almost every DC Universe movie to date. Going all the way back to mid-century Superman and Batman television shows, we learned that Arthur got his name from Hurricane Arthur. In the Boston Aquarium scene, two bullies are making fun of Arthur for talking to fish. This is a reference to what Bruce Wayne said in the 2017 Justice League movie.
"I hear you can talk to fish."
The Pirates' underwater ship is manta ray shaped. Obviously, this is Black Manta's introduction scene. Black Manta got that name from his grandfather, a frogman in the Navy. He was so skilled that he earned the nickname Manta. Michael Beach plays Black Manta's father. He also voiced Devil Ray, another name for Black Manta. In the 2004 TV series Justice League Unlimited, Wayne Tech's symbolism is everywhere within the submarine, though it is often only shown in part on the screen, and only in quick flashes. Jason Momoa wore contact lenses for the movie because the original Aquaman character has blue eyes. He also added more blonde highlights to his hair so that he could be closer to the original incarnations of Arthur Curry / Aquaman. In the comics, Aquaman is entirely blonde. The way Aquaman uses the door from the submarine is very reminiscent of Captain America and his shield. A torpedo can be seen with the number 303. There is a group of DC Comics with 303 on their label, all having to do with restarting storylines in the 70s. This could be a reference to that. The bar that Aquaman and his father go to for drinks is named Terry's Sunken Galleon. Later in the movie, Arthur and Mira use a sunken galleon as a safe house. A Sailor Jerry sign can be seen on the wall. While this is a popular brand of liquor, it may have been chosen specifically due to Jerry Grandinetti. The man is something of a mystery within DC lore, but he was certainly a talented inker and well involved with the Justice League. There is a brief scene commenting on fan society and the fact that so many stars can't get away even for a bit of time to relax. Aquaman is treated like a celebrity and forced to take pictures with fans. This is obviously commentary from Jason Momoa and or the rest of the stars involved in the movie on fans taking away their personal time. Authentic tsunami and disaster footage is used to represent Atlantis, supposedly responding to surface dwellers' endless thrashing of the ocean. This is also one of the many points within this movie where they touch on conservation. A great amount of this footage is from the Sendai, Japan tsunami from 2011. The last few scenes are from the Chile tsunami a few years prior to that disaster. One of the news channels is Sky News. Sky News is a real British news organization. Randall Park's character Dr. Stephen Chin is being interviewed on the news. He's the author of the book Atlanteans Among Us: A Secret History. Dr. Stephen Chin is a character from the comics. He's a friend of Aquaman and his father, who ultimately tried to kill Arthur when he didn't reveal the location of Atlantis. Mira says they defeated Steppenwolf. This is a reference to the 2017 movie Justice League. This is actually the only line in the movie that references any other DCEU movie. Mira's water-based magic is very similar to Avatar: The Last Airbender and waterbending. In fact, her arm motions are very like those of the Water Tribe when using her superpowers. The sunken cargo trailer / cargo transports have the names of many famous Aquaman artists written on the side, or companies inspired by the names of these artists. It's a nod to several different ages of comic book history. If you look closely, there's also an Annabelle doll resting on the ocean floor. James Wan directed The Conjuring 1 and 2. Vogel, played by Willem Dafoe, was intended to appear in 2017's Justice League. He was even on set for filming and did complete scenes. However, those scenes ended up on the cutting room floor. The name Orm means snake in Swedish. Patrick Wilson describes Orm as an ecological terrorist. He has a very clear gripe with the surface world, which has been polluting his oceans for centuries. He also played Night Owl in Watchmen. Additionally, this is the 5th time that Patrick Wilson and James Wan have worked together. After Insidious, The Conjuring, Insidious Chapter 2, and The Conjuring 2. Patrick Wilson also previously voiced the President of the United States in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. The Gateway Bridge is similar to the Bifrost from Thor. The visuals of Atlantis are very Thor-based, though the stylings are similar to the comics. It's clear that they're taking a good deal of inspiration from the Thor movies. We find out that only the Highborns can breathe both air and water. This is why the main characters don't need to wear suits while they're above land. The trench monsters in the movie were inspired by the 1954 movie Creature from the Black Lagoon. Patrick Wilson plays Jason Momoa's younger brother in the movie. However, in real life, Patrick Wilson is 6 years older than Jason Momoa. Arthur calls Volko Cobra Kai. This is a reference to the Karate Kid movies. In the movie, we learn that the trident is the traditional royal weapon. The trident is a specific weapon of the Greek sea god Poseidon. The octopus playing the drums before Arthur and Orm's fight is Topo, Aquaman's octopus sidekick from the 1950s to 1960s. James Wan was initially unsure about putting Topo in the movie. However, he changed his mind after watching Mad Max Fury Road. He said, "If that film could have a guy playing a flaming guitar, I'm going to have an octopus drummer in mind." There's a reference to Pinocchio when Aquaman and Mira climb inside the whale. Mira doesn't understand that reference because she's not from the surface world. However, later a girl gives Mira the Pinocchio children's book, so she understands it. Furthermore, this is the second superhero movie to feature a Pinocchio reference. The first was Avengers Age of Ultron. When Aquaman and Mira are walking out of the ocean, we hear the Pitbull song Ocean to Ocean. This was intentional and meant to resemble the Fast and Furious movies. James Wan also directed Furious 7. The cargo ship pilot is Lee Whannell, a good friend of James Wan. He's written and or directed many movies, including Saw, Insidious, and Upgrade. When Black Manta is creating his armor, he says, "I think I'm gonna need a bigger helmet." This is obviously a reference to the "you're gonna need a bigger boat" line from Jaws.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Arthur calls Mira Fight Club after she says she's going to punch him in the face. This is a reference to the 1999 movie Fight Club. The Atlantean device in the Sahara is similar to the symbols of the zodiac and their accompanying astronomical constellations. We see a statue of Romulus, the first king of Rome. When Arthur and Mira go to Italy, Romulus' story is similar to Arthur. He famously feuded with and eventually killed his own brother, Remus. The rooftop running / fight scenes are very reminiscent of the Indiana Jones movies. Though these scenes are not perfect nods to the Indiana Jones ones, the manner in which the camera pans and the spots in which the fighting occur are definitely filming related odes to the masterful work that created the successful franchise. Arthur and Mira travel to the hidden Earth's core, where they find out that Queen Atlanta is very much still alive. We also see a ton of dinosaurs. Most of the dinosaurs look as if the models have been taken directly from a Jurassic Park movie. Julie Andrews voices Karathan. The design of Karathan was inspired by the kaiju from Japanese monster movies and from the Pacific Rim movies. Karathan also asks Arthur, "Who are you?" This is a reference to Alice in Wonderland.
Who are you?
This is a fun little nod toward the fact that Aquaman has been thrown into a Wonderland sort of area of his own. He mentions how out of his element he is, just before the scene appears, and it's a great way to tie it all together. Arthur and Mira share a kiss amid the chaos of the battle scene. This is very similar to a lot of movies. For example, the Pirates of the Caribbean scene with Elizabeth and Will, kissing on the ship as everyone is attacked around them. The spin of the camera doing a 360 around the action, as the pair kiss makes it even closer to the Pirates of the Caribbean scene. During the final fight scene, Orm's cape is ripped off by a propeller. This may be a small reference to Edna Mode's No Capes line, and the resounding effect a cape has on the end of Syndrome in the first Incredibles movie. Syndrome dies due to his cape being caught in a propeller, and his body ripped back into the mechanism. The ripping of Orm's cape does indeed help to lead to his downfall as well. Orm's armor is very reminiscent of the Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, especially with the silver and purple theme that the armor has in this movie. The movie's working title was Ahab. This is the name of an anti-heroic sea captain in Herman Melville's classic story Moby Dick. Although most of the movie takes place underwater, it was not filmed underwater. According to Amber Heard, the underwater filming required cast members to be hosed down, and then shooting took place on a cold soundstage. During filming, Jason Momoa played pranks on all his fellow cast members, except Nicole Kidman. Before the movie was released, James Wan confirmed that the Atlanteans won't talk inside protective speech bubbles, as portrayed in the 2017 Justice League movie. This is the third live-action theatrical movie to feature the character of Aquaman. He already appeared in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice and Justice League. In the movie, the Fisherman tribe were created through a combination of makeup and CGI. The top half and the upper torso was makeup, and the bottom half was CGI. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, the actor who plays Black Manta, did not know how to swim at the time of his audition. He kept it a secret from James Wan and taught himself how to swim. However, he found out on the first day of production that all of his water scenes would actually be CGI. Well, that's it for this video. What did you think of Aquaman? Let me know your opinion in the comments below. Also, let me know which is your favorite DCEU movie. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos. Also, don't forget to turn on notifications for my channel so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.